And on the air one more time, coming to you live from Augusta, Georgia and San Antonio, Texas. It is The Prophet and the Truth. That's right, The Prophet and the Truth. And the new heavyweight champion of the world is... Oh, that's right, we told y'all ahead of time. I forgot. How many times do we got to announce these upsets before you start listening, people? Don't worry, that's okay. There's guys tweeting back saying, hey, don't worry, I betted on them. I already made the bet. And then I got tickets. I got pictures of tickets to show. The people come back $2,000, $3,000 richer because of us. One guy says, I don't even question it no more. They told me it's going to rain and the sun's shining, I'm going to bet on rain. He said, I'm telling you, they're that good. Well, have we been a little lucky? Yeah, of course we have. Hell, I mean, you can't go 31 in a row without getting some kind of luck involved. You know, was it luck picking Ronda Rousey? No, that was not luck for me to pick against Ronda Rousey. That was strategic. Was it luck picking Tyson Fury yesterday? No, that was not luck either. That was me. That was me and the truth together. Put two heads. Coming together as one. And when I heard his say the same thing as mine, I said, well, we're going with Tyson Fury to win this fight. And hold on just a minute. We got a break, and I'll get you to the truth. So, Antonio, how you doing?
I'm doing great tonight. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And how's your first weekend, man? Feels kind of fun, huh? To get everything right.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's nice. I've been living like this ever since we hit Twitter. Since the fight started come back, I used to be on air on the Sirius XM radio. Had the Fight Talk show there, but 87, channel 82 and 83, depending on, I don't know if y'all familiar with XM, but you got, I know the public is pretty familiar with the XM radio. The fact is, we're heading back, guys. We're going back to the top. This is the Fight Talk. We're going back to the top of this radio gig, and we're going to drive it all the way home. This isn't an accident. These ain't accidents that we're picking these guys. We're picking them strategically. Okay? We pick them strategically. And if you notice, we missed one thing yesterday. I'm sorry. We did miss one thing. I said Fury may stop him late. I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
My bad. I said he may stop him late. I guess I was wrong. We was wrong about one thing.
He almost had him, though. He honestly did. He gassed him out with those, those body punches out of those clinches. I mean, he's just a naturally bigger, younger man. It just, those clinches were definitely, he was just, had to stick out his jab. He was able to move his arm out the way at any given moment. Klitschko wasn't really doing much with these other opponents he was facing. After a while, he just started getting into this rhythm of clinching a lot, since they were smaller opponents. And in this case, muscle memory, it plays into everything, especially as you're aging and all, as a boxer, and fighting somebody younger, stronger, better reflexes. This guy was moving around. He was using great lateral movement. Everything was going great. Klitschko I kept in mind, Klitschko had something wrong with his, had a leg injury, I believe.
Yeah, he postponed the fight due to a leg injury. But, it's kind of like the Pacquiao thing. If his shoulder was hurt, that's on him. He should have stopped. You fill out a medical questionnaire 120 minutes before the fight. Are you able to go? Okay? Are you able to go? Can you perform at your finest, at your fullest? Now, as many people know, Pacquiao is now facing a lawsuit in the state of Nevada, and by many fans around the world that paid for that fight on pay-per-view. I mean, him and Bob Arum can be sued for millions and millions of dollars. But, I mean, I think they're going to end up getting out of it because he did actually have surgery. I think he had an injury, but I think it was suffering more so during the fight than prior to the fight. I think he had a little bit of a soreness in it, prior, and then what happens, he went ahead and tore it all the way. I tore my rotator cuff a couple times. You don't go in there winging away like that with torn rotator cuffs. You just don't do it. And I've been in the ring before, so quite a bit. So I understand that. But that's neither here nor there. It's kind of like that 750 milliliters of fluid too, an IV, and when Nevada, states 50. I mean, that's the law's the law, folks. You gotta, we don't drive 95 with the cops sitting on the side of the interstate, do we? No. But hell, I guess you can get an IB with 750 milliliters if the, Nevada, if the guy's standing there, and you also could fill out a questionnaire backwards. I mean, or you could do steroids. I mean, there's so much darkness, in this sport. I have been inside the depths of this sport before, and deep, and there is a lot of there's a cool underworld in this sport, and I do take some of that into consideration as I make my projections sometime, but none of that has been based on what I've done, what we've done since we've been back on the air at all, because these are some of the nicest and cleanest fighters out there. And Fury really more so impressed me. He showed more lateral movement yesterday than I thought that I had seen from him previously, other than the Cunningham fight. I seen a little bit during the Cunningham fight, and then as we was on the air yesterday, you made the statement that he can fight his way out of that clinch. You've seen, and I said,
yeah, definitely, especially with the way Klitschko is accustomed to clinching. I mean, he's just a bigger man, so he was able to just hyperextend that torso and be able to hit those little body shots, and it really made a big difference. I mean, that left hook, it'll weather that away. That jab, it'll weather that away.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even watch no more of the fight after the 8th round. I didn't need to. I knew who was going to win the fight. I knew who was going to win the fight before, right about midway through the 2nd round. I had a damn good idea. I had a pretty good idea when I told y'all yesterday on the air. I mean, I wouldn't have said it. I wouldn't have purposely took my O. You know what I mean? That'd been like Floyd stepping in with Gennady Golovkin. That would have been kind of crazy. I mean, so I wouldn't want to purposely take that O away from myself. Did I say, And I'll be honest, we had conversations back and forth all week, because I told y'all yesterday during the promo, this promo that I had, me and DaTruth, we talk on, we don't just come in here, do these shows and just off the top of our head, there it is. No. We know this stuff. We know the sport. For one, first you got to know the ins and outs of the sport, the technique involved to be a successful boxer. And then you've got to recognize it when you see it. And then you have to be able to cross-match it against other fighters. All right, 2 great fighters step in the ring. How do you cross-match it? What's going to counteract the other? It's kind of like mixing chemicals as a chemist. There's some chemicals you just don't mix. I'll never forget. I had my best friend growing up was Vernon Forrest. He was a welterweight champion of the world. He had won the IBF title from Earl Frank. He vacated it to fight Sugar Shane Mosley. Turns around and gets his ass whipped twice by Ricardo Mayorga. Now explain that to me. How did that happen? First time he got whooped. The second time he got robbed, kinda. It's styles make fights, folks. Styles make fights, and that Klitschko has. He's 39 years old. He was, hey, it's not an old man's game. Boy, what Floyd done is rare. Think about this. Hector Macho Camacho ended Sugar Ray Leonard's career at the age of 35. Okay? Well, I could go on and on down the line of greats. What many people consider all-time greats, stopping earlier in their careers.
Julio Cesar Chavez with De La Hoya.
Yeah, exactly. Julio Cesar Chavez. A lot of people think he was old when he fought De La Hoya the first time, or even Frankie Randall was the first to beat. He was the first to beat him. He was 89-0-1, barring that skepticism thing down there in Mexico. But he was 89-0-1 going to that fight when Randall beat him. And, we can argue all day back and forth about when he actually, whether Whitaker beat him or not. I mean, that could go, either way. I mean, the fact is what the judges do, the judges done. Okay? It ain't, you can't change their mind if we could, because my mind may rather be 48-1. Castillo beat him in my eyes. That's just how it is that night. Is Castillo half the fighter like Floyd Mayweather Jr. is? Hell no, it ain't close. But, that night he was, on any given...
I think, I really do believe it would have been a draw, at least a draw, at the least. But even at that, I mean, Mayweather gets away with these elbows. I've seen him at the end, and I've seen him. rewatch the tapes because, you know, I'm not a biased person. So I have to examine these tapes, you know, slow motion and whatnot. And I see this guy, and all of a sudden I see where he gets hurt. He hits him, and it's just, you know, you just see he just gets, the ref comes, breaks him up, and he's trying to gather himself a bit. But, you know, all these little things, that's...
And you see Floyd smile or stick his tongue out at him because he knows, I got you. I got you, kid. When I beat you mentally, I beat you in the ring. You know? And that is what made him so great. It's his ability to get away with the little things. Now, would that work against a man of Golovkin's size? I don't think so. I don't.
Not at all.
Not at all, because Golovkin's got the ability to cut off the ring better than anybody else within 3 weight divisions, I mean, even. Unless you go down, possibly to Gonzalez or Lomachenko or somebody like that. But Golovkin ain't... People call him a plotter, a stalker, and a slugger is what I heard. A plotter, stalker, slugger. Plotter, stalker, slugger. I heard that so much going into the Lemieux fight that I got sick of it. I got out of the Facebook groups almost. And I'm in 60-some groups. Now I've dialed it back down to 20 as of today. I cut it all the way back down to 20. I want to shout out to the championship rounds with Benny D.A. Saucedo. That is the best group in Facebook, bar none, in my opinion. Is by far the most knowledgeable. We have wars. We used to have wars. We would go into school, the other group, take our top 15 guys in and just drill them. And, you know, and it would be bad. It would be bad. I mean, we're going to bring a little guy in, the Bay Area Wizard, that's what I call him. He is a little man world beater. When I say what I mean, he ain't exactly Chocolatito. But there is nobody knows more about Chocolatito than Antonio Enzienzo out of Oakland, California. And I'll have him in because I'm Not Ring is coming back into the ring on Monday, December the 7th, okay? For some reason, they got him moved back to, he went from number 3 to number 4 as far as at 120 pounds. I don't know why, because they moved Aoki ahead of him, and the only man to be able to beat Aoki is I'm Not. So it's kind of, you know, who knows? You know, of course, 1 and 2 is Estrada and Gonzalez. One thing me and DaTruth going to do tonight before we leave, we're going to give you our top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. You know, and by year's end, I will break down the top 25 all-time greats, in my opinion. My top 25 all-time greats. I do it twice a year for Ring Magazine as it is. And so it ain't going to be that big a deal, you know. To go ahead and say this on there, I'd rather give y'all the scoop and give you the heads up. The new pound-for-pound list will be out at approximately 12:05 a.m. tonight, and when it hits, I'll air it live. I'll hear your new rankings and your new pound-for-pound live. I don't see much changing. I don't see Klitschko dropping no more than about 4th. You know, in the heavyweight division, I see him dropping out of the top 10 in the pound-for-pound. I do see that. I see your newcomer coming in as being Timothy Bradley off of his last performance. I see that being the guy moving into the top 10. Him or Canelo. Canelo was actually ranked right behind him, but Bradley had a dominating performance. Canelo had a very good performance. Canelo beat a much better fighter, though. Now, so, you know, with 6 of one, half dozen the other, I guess you could say. And thing about it is you know, ain't but one man beat Chance Bradley. That's Manny Pacquiao. That's the fighter of the decade from 2000-2010. Arguably one of the greatest. Between 115 and 135 pounds, there ain't been but about 3 people better than him in the history of this planet. And that's the truth. That weight class, you know, them weights. I consider him the best featherweight I've ever seen. The best featherweight I've ever seen. Now, who knows? Rigondeaux may go on into whenever. I don't see Rigondeaux doing it because he's too old. He's 35 already. You know, and if he don't get Lomachenko on the ring soon, he's going to have to carry a wheelchair in when he fights him. I hope that fight gets made. I want it made. I need it made. I got to see it. Rock Nation and Bob Arum, get your ass together. Let's hammer this out. I want that fight just coming quick, coming soon. I want it quick and soon. And my 3 favorite fighters are Lomachenko, Guillermo Rigondeaux, and Andre Ward. That's my three favorite fighters, and I want to see two of my favorites get right in there and duke it out.